Hello, and today we are discussing Chapter 11 of your Business Principles textbook, Marketing, Helping Buyers Buy. Now, I want to recommend if you read one chapter in this entire book from end to end carefully, I would highly suggest that you read Chapter 11, especially those of you that are wanting to become entrepreneurs, managers, leaders in the company. Everything is trending towards having a high competency in marketing. So I hope that you enjoy this presentation today and I hope that you follow it up or have precursored it with reading the chapter. So today we'll define what marketing is and talk about the difference in marketing for-profit and not-for-profit organizations. We'll discuss the 4 Ps, summarize the marketing research process. We'll talk about environmental scanning and learning how to adapt to the changing market environment. We'll also discuss how marketers apply the tools that they have to study and adapt to consumer behavior. Lastly, we'll compare B2B and B2C marketing. So what is marketing? We define marketing as the activity, the set of institutions and processes for creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging offerings that have value for customers, clients, partners, and society at large. The marketing concept has 3 main parts. Customer orientation. This is our way to find out what customers want and provide it for them. Service orientation. Everyone in the org has the same objective, customer satisfaction. And profit orientation. This is where we focus on which earn the most profit. On the goods that earn the most profit so the organization can survive and expand. Now let's briefly discuss the history and evolution of marketing. We have 4 main areas that are subject of focus: the production era, the sales era, the marketing era, and the relationship era. During the production era, production was slow, and so the focus was on creating the product because as much of the product that could be created could also be sold. Therefore, the more we produced, the more profit we were able to earn. This lasted up through about the 1930s. In the 1920s through about the 1970s, we had dramatic improvements in manufacturing. So therefore, we were able to meet and even exceed customer demand for products. Then the focus turned to selling, getting customers to purchase what we had available in stock. From the 1950s through about the 1990s, this is the post-World War II era, and consumer spending boomed. Think about all the baby boomers being born. Think about dramatic developments in production, manufacturing, and the possibility for more individuals to earn an education. Customer businesses knew that they had to be responsive to customers in order to compete against other companies for their business. At this time, the customer orientation, service orientation, and profit orientation came to be. This was a 3-part business philosophy for the marketing concept. As you can see in this ad, it exemplifies the individual by saying, you can have your burger made your way. The relationship era started in the 1990s and continues through the present day. So businesses are focusing more on having clients that keep coming back for their products and services. They're using social media, marketing influencers, and subscriptions in order to build an ongoing relationship with a customer. Customer relationship management means that you're knowing the customer's expectations, and you're keeping this data in a computer system, and you're making sure that you are constantly being competitive and at the forefront of what consumers desire in your market. So, in the emerging mobile and on-demand marketing era, there are a couple things that businesses need to focus on in order to continue to innovate and be competitive. One of these is the now perspective. Customers want what they want, when they want it, where they want it, at any given time. So, new companies such as Favor and DoorDash have emerged to give customers what they want on demand. The can I means that the customer has information that creates value or adds perspective to the purchase that they're trying to make. Think about seeing an ad and being able to scan a QR code and purchase whatever product or service is being offered right then and there. Or you could be driving by a home and want to know more about it. So you can text the home code to a specific number and immediately get all access to all the information on the MLS. For me, this applies to a highly individualized experience. Customers want products and services purchased or personalized for themselves. One of the best performers of this for me concept is Starbucks. You can download the Starbucks app, put in your birthday, and of course it remembers it, and you can tailor the drinks and food that you like extensively to accommodate your individualized tastes and preferences. The app also stores and remembers your prior purchases, so you can repurchase the same order with an easy click. Simple. This alludes to the customer experience being fast and easy. Think about the Shop app or purchasing with a Shop integration. With one click, Shop already stored your personal information, your location. It has a credit card that's valid on file, and you're able to make a purchase with a single click. So, in order for the social relationship with marketing to continue, we have to focus on keeping customers happy. We can do this in a multitude of ways. Building a relationship with a customer is much like building any kind of personal relationship. The foundation of it is trust, doing what you say you're going to do, being able to listen to the customer and to adapt to their expectations. Creating a loyalty program or frequent contact with the company is important for long-term success. One of the concepts that emerged with intent to keep the customers happy is called surprise and delight marketing. It's a strategy where businesses exceed customer expectations with unexpected positive gestures to foster brand loyalty and advocacy. This involves creating memorable, emotional experiences, not through standard promotions, but via genuine acts of kindness, like personalized gifts, free upgrades, or unique events. Effective campaigns are built on a genuine understanding of the customer, leading to stronger emotional connections, greater customer satisfaction, and powerful word-of-mouth marketing. Nonprofit organizations function much like for-profit organizations. However, the focus of their marketing is different. Nonprofit marketing includes a focus on raising funds to promote their cause. They also need to obtain resources, but it may not include inventory or service availability. It may include resources in order to help others or to have products to be able to sell so they can continue to raise money and so on and so forth. They're constantly needing to attract new members and have the same kind of loyalty and obligation to their cause as you would for a for-profit entity. They also need to market and campaign for social awareness of their issues. In nonprofit, this ad on the right shows a nonprofit marketing in order to help people distance during COVID. The idea is to make the public more aware of various issues and encourage them to stay engaged. As you can see, the hashtag Alone Together is something that can easily be Googled, and the coronavirus.gov website allows people to get the latest tips and information. If you followed the website, then it would give you the opportunity to sign up to get recent updates on coronavirus. So, millions of individuals did this, and they received continuous marketing for this campaign. So, the four P's of marketing is discussed in your textbook. These four P's are product, price, place, and promotion. Well, I would challenge you that beyond the textbook, there are actually seven P's in the marketing mix. We have product, promotion, price, and place, but we've since added people, process, and physical evidence. The product aspects talks about how well your product or service satisfies demand in the market. Any physical good, service, or idea that satisfies a want or need, plus anything that would enhance the product in the eyes of the customers, such as the brand name, is part of your total product offering. Your brand name is a word, a letter, or a group of words or letters that differentiate one seller's goods and services from those of competitors. So, what do you put in your product marketing? Well, you can advertise or convey the design or quality or other features of the product. You can discuss different options or customizations available, and you can also convey the position of your product in the market. We'll talk about different ways to do that. Here at the bottom is a link to Apple product offering as an example. Place. Place is wherever your products are sold and advertised in relation to your customers. So where, at what time, and in what place is your product convenient or helpful to individuals? If it's something they need to hold in their hands, what is the availability to get your product to the customers? Now, will you get more sales by marketing directly or using your website? Or are buyers looking for your products through third-party marketplaces? Think about avenues like DoorDash. You have to sign up and be added, and then you're available to the DoorDash audience. So the picture on the right shows our current availability of Starbucks coffee in the downtown Austin area. As you can see, since this is a physical product that they want to put in customers' hands, that there are Starbucks locations along every major highway and some of the major roads that lead into those highways. So this means at any point in the individual's commute, they are interested in getting something from Starbucks, they can simply exit within the next couple of minutes and get Starbucks coffee in their hands. Now let's talk about price. Price is more than how much your product or service costs. It includes the perceived value of your product and how well it suits the customer's needs. So, if an individual is looking for a value product, then having your product priced and positioned on the lower end of the market would be an advantage. If your customer is looking for a higher priced, more luxury product, then it would need to be um, priced in the higher realm of the market to have a greater perceived value. One of the most common tactics that you might see every time you go to the mall is using a price tag with a 99 cent at the end of it instead of rounding up to the next dollar. One example of this would be having a product for $9.99 instead of $10. While this is roughly the same cost, $9.99 is perceived by the individual as being much less expensive and less costly than using an entire $10 for that product. Pricing can depend on several factors. The competitors' prices should be closely aligned with yours, depending on the market, the location that it's available in, and the similarity of the offerings. The production costs need to be considered in your overall price because you want to make sure that you're making money. Distribution and promotion are other avenues that may incur cost and need to be considered in the total product cost. Another price scheme that is often used is showing a much higher price, as the original or retail price, and then a heavily discounted price for the actual offering. This makes the perceived value of this shoe much higher because normally one might pay $30 for it, but now we're only having to pay $7.49. Additionally, getting more value for the price can also be a strategic position. So, for example, Domino's is having a promotion in this ad where you can get two slices for the price of one. This has a perceived value that you're only paying for one and getting one free. Promotion. So, promotion is any way that you raise awareness for your product or spread outreach to get the customers more familiar with your product. So, the customer sees a promotion and they're able to use their phone through a QR code or read reviews. Um, they can also use you can also use promotion through your personal website or which explains more about the product, the founders, and the background of the company. All of that is part of promotion. Um, the ad on the right is for Top Doctors magazine. The person on the cover of this magazine likely purchased that spot in order to gain recognition through promotion. All right. Lastly, you'll not be tested on these last three P's, but I wanted to make you aware that they exist and talk about how they relate to overall marketing. So people are your employees. They're anyone that is in contact with your customer. So it's important to recruit the best talent, not just in customer service and in sales, but anyone that can talk about your company or can convey information about it is part of your whole people offering. Processes is anything in the manufacturing or distribution channel. So the process can add value by being quick, being simple, or being available at times when some other competitors' products may not be available. For example, Cane's is open until 2 a.m., whereas most businesses are closed by 10 o'clock. So having the process of being open at a longer period of time adds value to customers that are looking for a late night meal. Physical evidence. Physical evidence is the packaging and the anything surrounding the product on display or included in the product itself. So this is specifically valuable for returning customers. You can make the packaging work for you, especially in a high-end luxury market. When you open your purchase and you see an overwhelming extravagance, then this reinforces the customer that the product has high value and has high significance. Um, and it encourages the customer to purchase again. Let's think about the four P's in response to a vegetarian restaurant. There may be one near your college campus. If there is, think about how the four P's play a factor in the marketing, product, price, place, and promotion in order to get the maximum amount of customers in and be available to them and create value. When building out your websites, your Shopify's, your Instagram, and other social media and marketing, it's very important to avoid the seven deadly sins. Seven deadly sins are comprised of unorganized or stale information, having outdated templates, having tiny print that is difficult for individuals to read, fonts that are distasteful, and poor color schemes. I added orange here because orange is supposed to be the most disliked color of all colors. Um, you can ignore the needs of your customer base and just rattle on about things that don't have value to the customer. Having low internet speeds or processing speeds, this is largely going away. But make sure that you're investing in efficiency for your customers when they access your website or make purchases. Having links that lead to nowhere give the implication that your business is outdated. And incorporating inconsistent styles can be irritating to the person looking at your site and may alone cause them to click somewhere else. Feel free to pause the video at this point and answer these three questions for yourself. What does it mean to help the buyer buy? This refers to a consulting approach, aiding the customer with knowledge or information, or a link that makes it easier or more available to make the purchase of your product. What are the three parts of the marketing concept? There's customer orientation, service orientation, and profit orientation. And what are the traditional four P's of the marketing mix? We have product, price, place, and promotion. Marketing information. To understand customers' wants and needs, it is critical to conduct market research. Good market research will identify products consumers have used, will want to use in the future, and market trends. Marketing research is the analysis of markets to determine opportunities and challenges and to find the information needed to make good decisions. The marketing research process is as follows. First, you want to define the problem or opportunity in the situation. Secondly, you want to collect either primary or secondary data or both in order to tailor to the customer. Third, you want to analyze the data. What does the data tell you about your product in relation to benchmarks? Fourthly, you want to choose the best solution and implement it. The marketing research process is best taken at an iterative approach, so you can continuously improve upon your current model and be able to adapt to changing needs and changing markets. Now, data can come in two different forms. Primary data is data that you have collected firsthand and the information that you gather yourself. This might come through taking a survey, and asking focus groups to what their opinions are on the product. Secondary data is information that has already been published. This can come from journals or books or anywhere online. Secondary data is less expensive than primary data because you don't have to put in the footwork, the information is already available. However, secondary data may not perfectly align with your needs or tailor to your individual product, thus necessitating some form of primary data. When doing marketing research, it's important to analyze your customers' needs and make sure that you are satisfying those needs. You need to analyze current markets and find opportunities within them. This may mean pivoting from your initial product or service. This can be more difficult for smaller businesses because they may have focused on one specific vertical, the vertical which disappears, or they may be focusing on a single customer, and that customer decides to go in a different direction. Once you have analyzed your market, your opportunity, and you've identified the customer's need and the way to satisfy that need, then you need to continuously analyze the effectiveness of your processes and strategies. If your strategies were successful, then you want to understand the reasons they were successful. If they were a failure, then you also need to understand why they failed so you can move in a different direction. We are now at the halfway point in our discussion of marketing. We're going to continue this in a separate video called Part 2 of Marketing Helping Buyers Buy.